Cheers.
Yay.
Welcome to episode 8.
Season
Cheers.
3. Welcome,
Cheers.
welcome.
I know it's hot. Mine's too hot.
Yours isn't too hot. I'm just going to not burn my tongue.
Exactly.
All right, so we are at a legend session. We've been talking about legacy. And we say this all the time when we have legends that usually they come from one of us. Like we'll invite a legend here. And so I have the privilege of inviting Jill today, who is my legend. We met, and this is all, we always say this is fun because you don't know any of this. So we met when our girls were in 8th grade, which now her daughter's married, my daughter's getting married. They both.
Did I meet her daughter?
No, Liz wouldn't have been at the shower.
She was on the podcast.
No,
she was on the podcast. That's right.
Yes, she's so sweet.
Yes. So
that's what I was thinking.
She gets it from her dad.
She's cute.
So the girls, Bailey and Liz, both made the cheerleading squad. And so they met at like 8th grade spring game going into high school. They just made the cheerleading squad.
Okay.
And there were 4 freshmen that made it, 4 girls. So it was Bailey and Liz and Josie and Bree. I couldn't think of the last name. Like, it was the 4th.
Bree.
And they just basically became
They're
best
like,
friends and all through high school and beyond. And then Liz went into the Air Force, and obviously Bailey went to Sanford Navy. See how much I know?
She's in Pensacola, right?
She is.
Yeah.
She's flying.
Got her wings.
She did get her wings.
Very nice.
Yep.
Congratulations. That's exciting.
Thank you.
And so we have been together for years.
She gave us all kinds of young married wisdom.
Yeah.
She did.
She made us go. We were sitting in there and going, oh, we should be nicer to her.
Yeah. She was still happily married.
She
You're
was like,
honestly.
she's married like less than a year. So cute.
Yes.
She and her husband, Seb, flew from Pensacola to Birmingham to surprise Bailey at the engagement party.
Yes.
Which was so fun. And then they flew Bailey and Camden
here
to St. Augustine for lunch.
Yes.
They just flew them in for lunch. Like, it was just really fun. So Bailey was in Liz's wedding and Liz is in Bailey's wedding. Yeah. And so they've been together forever.
And didn't Sean marry them? No.
Nope, didn't marry them.
That's a different couple.
That's a different couple. That's the other girl, Juliet and Tucker.
Okay.
Sean married.
Okay.
So Jill and I have been together through our girls forever, which is amazing.
You both are big cheerleaders.
We are. We were cheer moms and then just became friends. And so when we were talking about legacy, I couldn't think of a better person to talk about legacy than Jill because of just who she is, what it means to her, and what she does. And so just tell us about legacy. We're just going to give you the time.
Well, I love legacy, actually. And when you say we're cheerleaders, I would say that is how I would describe myself, as like a cheerleader in life. Like, I love cheering people on, especially in their legacy. So when I think about legacy, I think of like a big tree. So you think of an oak tree with like a thick trunk and the branches. But the thing that makes that tree stand through storms and time and all the things is the roots, which are deep and wide. And so when I think of legacy, I think of like, who is going to stand in the shade of my tree and eat of the fruit of my tree long after I'm gone. And the only way that it can last and stand is because of deep roots, which to me is legacy. And that's like intentionality and the way you treat people. It's not something you leave. I know a lot of people talk about legacy like you leave a legacy, which is true. That's part of the definition. But it's really something you build. So living a life of purpose and meaning and intentionality allows those roots to be really deep and wide and allows that tree to benefit many people for way longer than your own life.
Right.
So I love legacy, and I especially love the cheerleader in me. It is... Liz comes by it very truthfully.
You were a cheerleader, right?
I was. Yeah, indeed.
What did you cheer for?
At Mandarin High School.
Oh, yeah. You were here. That's right. Oh, and Miss Kunza was
my...
That's so right. It's all coming back. Yep.
But I think in life, when God created me, one of the things he did was made this like encourager. And for me, encouraging people to live a life that, God woke us up this morning and put breath in our lungs for a purpose. So I don't just want to waste the day. I don't think any of us want to waste the day. But unless we really think intentionally and act intentionally, then a day's going to go by and then the next day and the next day. And before you know, you're like, all these years have passed and what is my life all about? Like, what does it mean?
What's it reflecting?
What is it
Right.
reflecting? And are my roots deep and wide? I mean, we know in Florida here, there's some trees with shallow roots. The minute the hurricane comes,
Right.
and we don't want to come to the end of our lives and be like,
Yeah, that's
didn't
good.
really,
Yeah.
So that image of a tree really helps me think about legacy. But
How did you get like where did that all come from?
oh, good question. I think it really started. So my best friend was diagnosed with terminal liver cancer, and they found the tumor on her 30th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Her kids at that time were 6 months, 2 and 4. And at that time, I also had 2 little ones. So we were young moms doing life together. We went to the park and the story time and play group, and we were eating Girl Scout cookies and reading books with our kids on the floor, and she didn't feel right. And the doctors were saying, well, you're nursing a brand new baby and you have these 2 toddlers. Like,
And you're eating Girl Scout cookies.
You're eating Girl Scout cookies. We ate a whole bunch of them.
That would do it.
Yeah, exactly. But they were like, maybe it's postpartum. She's like, it's not postpartum. And we both knew that she was losing weight. There were some other symptoms, and they found this tumor on her liver.
Gosh.
And the doctors, didn't give her much hope. The prognosis was poor. Thankfully, God gave her 9 more years, which was a miracle and a gift. I mean, when she passed away, her kids were 9, 11, and 13.
Yeah. And she could prepare them for it.
Right. So that was her mother's heart. Oh, I'm hitting my microphone. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Her heart was for her kids.
It's like for emphasis, her heart.
Yes.
There you go.
Her main, when the doctors give you that diagnosis, she said she thought that expression of your heart seizes with fear was just an expression, but she's like, it's actually not an expression. Like, my heart physically stopped. It seized with this feeling of, I can't leave. Like, my kids are babies. And she wrestled with that. And we actually, as best friends do, had a lot of conversations. And one day she was in church and she was like, well, she had been looking for especially books. She felt like books would be a good tool to talk to her kids about death and dying from a Christian perspective and maybe what to expect. And there was nothing. There was really no research. She thought for sure Focus on the Family has something. Or, those resources. There was nothing. And one day she was in church kind of throwing a tantrum to God in her prayer time.
Which is understandable.
So relatable. And she was like, why isn't there anything for me to help my kids? And God said, write it. And so she wrote a children's book. It was just for her kids. She wrote it with the intention of printing 3 copies for her 3. And through that, she had some conversations with a social worker during a trial treatment she was undergoing. And they said, can we make that available to other kids like yours? And she was like, sure. If you have the funding, here's the book. And they did. They passed it out among other kids. And we quickly realized from that point on that there were so many other families like hers. Now, I'll say I know the statistics that 1 out of every 20 children face the loss of a parent before the age of 16. So that's 1 in every classroom.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
you look in the classroom of your kids and you think, okay, one of these kids is going to experience the loss of a parent by terminal illness, not by car accident or heart attack. This is terminal illness. Wow. So Kristin was starting her name is Kristin. I don't know if I said that.
No, okay.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
She was starting to prepare her children for this reality while also living life to the fullest. So that's one thing I want to say is some people think when I start to really think intentionally about my legacy that I'm somehow giving up on life. But actually, I would argue that's the opposite. You're actually living life better. And so Kristin lived life in a way that was so intentional and so meaningful. She built her legacy in a way that I can't wait to tell you more stories. I will in a second. That impacted her own children, even now, years after her death, and also allowed us to start a nonprofit. So we started a nonprofit. Her and her husband started it, technically. I was just a cheerleader.
Yeah, right.
Cheering them on, but also being a part of it as I was able. I obviously had 2 little ones at the time, too. But I came on full time.
Don't you feel like we don't do anything impactful?
Oh, yes.
I mean,
these people do. I know, we get these legends. We're like,
I'm like,
we drink coffee.
oh, I
clean out a closet.
Cheers. You guys.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
It's
you do so
fantastic.
much. Yeah, so in 2007, we started Inheritance of Hope. And the heart was for all these families that are in this situation, like Kristin's family, to be able to help them feel less alone and not not feel isolated, and also to just give them all of the resources and tools that Kristin had learned through her own journey, and really that God had given her through that prayer time, that one day when she wrote the children's book, all the way through the other time she wrestled with God of like, is this really the path you have for me? And yes, it was the path, and what he used it for. Wow. That whole, I know you've heard the statement like, God doesn't waste our pain, and he uses it all.
Right.
He uses it all. And so now Kristin passed away in 2012, and we serve thousands of families every year through Inheritance of Hope.
And how do you get to, like, how do you find out who the families are?
Well, now the families find us.
Okay.
So if you Google like Make-A-Wish for adults or terminal illness, we come up. We have some Google ads, but we're also on social media, and word of mouth is kind of a powerful thing in the terminal illness community because people are desperate for resources.
And social workers, like
social
the
workers,
hospitals?
Yeah.
And is everybody sort of all over the place? Or are they local?
Nationwide.
Yeah. Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's exciting. We have several programs. All of them are nationwide, but we do actually have a local chapter here in Jacksonville of what we call Hope Hub, which is an opportunity for families locally to meet ongoing in person.
Nice. Right.
So that's sweet. And we have those launching in many major cities. So we just launched one in Houston and Austin. We're bringing one to Atlanta next month.
Nice.
We have one in
think that
DC
part
and
is
Chicago.
Because you hear from the other families that are like we can't even relate.
Right.
I love, like, we had Valerie Callahan on from Gabriel House. And I think the cool thing about having a home where everybody can stay is that community is so impactful.
Yeah.
What a good idea.
Well, like, even if you have a really sweet community around you as a person who's young and actively parenting and dying, even if you have people who love you, your parents, your siblings, your neighbors, they are going to do so much, but they don't really get it.
They don't understand.
Yeah. And then you sit in a room with other parents that are diagnosed or caregivers, or you're a kindergartner and you're in a room with other 5-year-olds and you're like, oh, your mom lost her hair too. Your mom has to go to the hospital a lot, or she can't play anymore. That bond between the kids and the teens and the young adults and then the parents.
And you don't get that unless there's a place for them to do it in person. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So they have, the Hope Hub is newer.
Yeah.
But when I first met Jill, they do these, I'm not going to say the right word, retreats, vacations. I don't know what
Legacy
they are.
retreat.
Legacy retreats, where they take these families. So there's a terminally ill parent and a caregiver and the kids, and they give them a vacation of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And to do that, there will be several of these families that are going to the retreat together. And so they ask volunteers to come and host the family.
So it's like there's babysitters, or they're cooking, or they're doing
pushing wheelchairs.
Usually they've got,
stuff.
all kinds of medical things. So there's kids to watch and, and so you can volunteer to go host a family at this vacation.
Nice.
We all know how much I don't like to cry. Right. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to meet somebody and then I'm going to have to cry. And I don't cry. So I'm just not doing it. And so she finally got me to do the first one. And she partnered me with Liz. Yeah. Liz, her daughter, was my partner. And we had a family. And it was a mom and the caregiver.
Leave it at that.
And it was an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And that's what I want you to talk about too, because to me, the legacy of this is not do they just get this great vacation where they do really cool things and they're with people that are going through the same things and they have counselors and they take the kids. And I mean, it's just so well done. But and again, you'll do a better job explaining it, but they will spend time that week pouring into the terminally ill parent and the caregiver and help them create a legacy to leave for their kids. So whether it's a video that they're recording, like they'll prompt them with words and they'll record videos for the kids.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing, but it's just ugly. I mean, as the person they're serving, I mean, it just was like gut-wrenching, but they do it with, it's just amazing. So let's talk about the retreats.
Yeah. So legacy retreats are where now it's anywhere from 20 to 40 families at one time. They come together from all over the country and they can choose what retreat they go to based on their calendar and the place. So we go to Orlando, New York, We go to Minneapolis, St. Louis, Austin.
Yeah.
We go all over the place. And it's a weekend experience, all expenses paid. They get their lodging and their meals and their tickets to whatever fun thing we're doing. And then they get a team of volunteers that cater to their every need. And it's an exciting time for the families to make memories and to laugh and have fun. But also they get to break up into the small groups like we talked about where other people really get it. And the volunteers are a part of that as well. And then we're talking the whole time about how to build a legacy that lasts. That's what we're talking about with the parents. Like, what are some very practical things you can do today to really make your impact on and make the things that that matter most to you last. So legacy videos is that other component that Tammy talked about. And you don't even know this, maybe.
I'm sure I've not gone. After I cried, I did twice, and I cried so much, they don't invite me back. Yeah, you're just out of control.
Which does cry. She loses
it. She's not great at this.
Well, we pivoted. We talk about legacy videos at a retreat, but now we have the accessibility through beautiful technology like this. We offer legacy videos to anybody. Like, you guys can make a legacy video today.
You can do it on Zoom.
It's on Zoom. We have legacy video coaches that are trained volunteers that will help walk somebody through how to record what matters most to you. It can be as short as 2 minutes. It can be as long as 30 minutes, and you can schedule another one. There's no cost involved. And it's on our website now. I would want, like, anyone who listens to this, if they're like, this sounds like something I'd like to do, you should do it. There's really no reason not to do it. But the cool thing about that is now families that can't come on a legacy retreat, either because they're limited by
health is too bad. They just can't.
Or they're in an ICU bed. Like they
can't fly or something.
So they can record a legacy video from anywhere, anytime. We have a calendar on our website. So people just click. There's even appointments today. Like, it's so accessible for people that have urgency.
Yeah. That would be a really
cool.
Yeah.
Do that.
I would not do well with that either.
You could do it.
I could just do it.
No.
I'm going to gift your kids like before they're all married. You can do it before Bailey's wedding.
Here's the thing. You know how many sacrificial things you've done for your kids?
I know.
Like, we do so many things for our kids that are hard and not really fun, that we don't really want to do, but we do it anyway because we're good parents. And this is one of those things, like, that's what I tell people all the time. I know it's hard. It's not like
I wish I had it from, like, my dad and my grandparents. For sure.
I know. Same.
Yeah, I want it from my mom, too.
Yeah.
Right. And dad. And
I mean,
but I don't want to do it. Yeah, that's where it went. I was like, I want it from them, but I don't know if I want to do it.
No, I think we want it from them.
That would be really hard to do.
Well, that would be very hypocritical if you
It would be hypocritical. It would be very hypocritical. I would know
that hard because, like, everything's good.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'd be really hard if it's like, this is imminent.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, hey, we're just celebrating our family. I want everybody to know we're on our way to Bailey's wedding. Yeah. I'll do it for you.
Okay. That'd be great. You can do legacy video.
You can do mine.
No, it is very good, though. You're right.
Even, like, you know, the stories that your kids might have heard 100 times.
Yes.
So the story that maybe dad tells every Christmas, you're like, yes, we've heard this so many times. To have it recorded in a way that, like, it's captured forever. So if that person isn't around, it's captured. But even if they are around, like, what a sweet gift to say, like, oh, that was the 40-year-old version of you.
Right.
And now you're 70.
Exactly.
So, I think it's a win-win for everybody. So you should do it.
I should do it.
You should
love
too.
that. Oh, I would love to do that.
I've done a few, like, when I turned in my minivan. Yeah. And it was like the van my kids had grown up in. I did a legacy video in the car where I'm like, I want to talk about some of the memories we've made in this van. Like, I used to change your diapers in the back.
Right.
And I don't know.
That's great.
It was just
I
like,
think that's
sweet.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't mean about dying.
No.
And they're digitally recorded, and then you just get the link. They're in a cloud somewhere.
Exactly.
Oh,
and so we have people call us.
That's great.
And they're like, you know what? My mom died. I know you guys offer this, and I know that she was wrestling with the whole thing, like, should I or should I not? Or I'm gonna sign up for that.
Right.
And they'll call us and they'll say, did she? And you know how gut-wrenching it is to say, like,
we couldn't get her to do it.
Right. She never did it. She didn't follow through. Or she had an appointment she canceled. And that person's like, oh. But when they call us and they're like, did she do it? We're like, here's the link. I mean, it's the best gift we can give.
That is really good.
And I'll just, like, go back to Kristin, my friend, for a second. So one of the things she did, besides write the children's book, is she and at that stage, we didn't have like the technology we
Yes.
have now. She put up a camcorder, which is a lot more difficult than us with our phones. And she recorded a video for like certain milestones. This is to watch on your graduation day. This is to watch on your wedding day. This is to watch, you know, at these milestones.
You don't have to do that.
No, you don't
You're
have
going
to
to
do
start
that.
with
It's
like,
okay.
you're going to start with the minivan thing.
I don't like that. I know. It's so good. That would be so hard. I mean, I don't know Kristin. I mean, I've known this story and I've walked this a while, but it's the first time when you said that I thought how strong she had to be. Because just hearing that now, and I'm doing fine, I don't know if I can make those recordings.
Right.
But to be able to do that then, knowing what was coming, she had to be just
But I
an
think it
unbelievably
also,
strong
I think
woman.
that does make you stronger,
Mhm.
right? Knowing like when you're walking with the Lord, you are strong in that, like she all she's doing is trying to put something out there for her kids to have, and she knows how important that is. So like what you said, you'll do anything for your kids. And so it's like, I can see how you could do that. Like
Impressive.
God's going to give you what you need when you need it.
Yeah.
I had to do my video that I sent to Andrew, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My kids don't want my videos.
Man, Mom.
Well, and I mean, honestly, like, so Kristin's 3 kids are now young adults. And, you know, I like to use this one example, but Luke is her middle child, the only boy. His wife now is a lovely girl. I love her so much. She got to meet her mother-in-law through a legacy video. And they just had a baby last week. It would have been Kristin's first grandbaby.
Aww.
But, you know, that baby gets to know his grandma through these videos.
And the voice.
Kristin's intentionality, as hard as it was, and some of them were hard, like multiple takes, but that was the strength that she needed. And now she's a part of their lives here, you know, 14 years later, she's still impacting their lives. So when I talk about that tree, like, I mean, her roots are deep and wide. Obviously, Inheritance of Hope is blessing so many families, but her own family unit is also really solid because of that intentionality. And I think that's quite a gift.
Oh, incredible.
She inspires me still. So
I am still friends with my family that we did the second retreat in New York. So we took Bailey. So Bailey and I went, and Jen and Claire went, and Jill and Liz, and we did another retreat in New York over Thanksgiving. And it was the best retreat. Like, it was just, we had such a sweet family. And Victoria, she just posted, because Bailey's getting married now. So the lady that I served in New York is still doing well, and saw that I posted about Bailey's wedding. And she's like,
that's
oh
awesome.
my gosh, how's that? But so like, we've been able to build a relationship, which is really cool. So
I wonder if Vicky made a legacy video. I think she did.
I think she did. I think she did. I'm pretty sure she did too.
Well, that retreat, I remember clearly, I was helping to record legacy videos at that retreat. And one man that I helped record a video for, he passed away like 3 weeks after the retreat. He was a delightful man. And his wife now joined. So another program that Inheritance of Hope offers that we haven't talked about yet is called Hope at Home Groups. And these are online support groups. They happen every day of the week, and we have groups for like diagnosis specific, but we also have groups for caregivers or for kids and teens. We have groups for life after loss, so after the loved one passes. And this sweet lady, widow, she comes every Friday morning to the group I lead, which is more like a Bible study group for anybody who wants to come. And I helped her husband make his video during that New York retreat.
Wow.
And I remember kind of interviewing him, and he said beautiful things to his 3 children and his wife, and his wife. And he was getting emotional. He was very sick. He had a hard time breathing. And I remember he was a believer. He loved the Lord. And after his video was over, his relief, like, you could physically see this like burden lifted. And I got down, he was in a wheelchair. I got down at his feet and I put my hand on his knee and I prayed for him. And I just prayed over the video, his loved ones that would receive it someday, which it was very soon. He passed very soon after. And now whenever I see Dina every Friday morning, you know, it reminds me of that gift. And she brings it up from time to time. Like, that is one of the best gifts I've ever gotten in my entire life.
What a great thing you're doing. Oh my goodness.
It's an honor.
So how many families have you served at Inheritance of Hope. One of my favorite pictures of Bailey is she has IOH on her. We were at the retreat and she was in the kids' room playing and they had
face paint.
Face paint, and she put Inheritance of Hope, IOH, on her head. And I had this big picture of her with the heart of Inheritance of Hope.
I love that picture too. We've served thousands of families now. And when Kristin passed, so she was able to do Inheritance of Hope with us for 5 years before she died. So we started in 2007. She died in 2012. And obviously now we're much later. And so we had just hit the 100 family mark when she died. And I think now, and we were just doing legacy retreats. Now that we do Hope Hubs, Hope at Home groups, legacy videos, we're in the thousands. And, there's families that are waiting for their legacy retreats. They can still join groups online and they can still make a video right now. So we feel so much more equipped to serve these families immediately.
in between.
Yeah.
Right.
And so there was a period of time when it was like, if they can't get to a legacy retreat, then, we missed our chance. And it felt so devastating. Now that's not the case. Thankfully, we have these programs in place all the time. So it's a sweet thing. But also my passion for legacy goes beyond, the families we serve have this diagnosis, which gives them a kick in the pants. Doctors say you're going to die. There's nothing like that sense of urgency to say but, people don't like when I bring this up at coffee time. Sorry, girls. Cheers. But we're all going to die.
Right.
And so many people hate talking about it, which I get. It's hard to face it. Mortality, it's a really difficult topic. But it's also something that how sweet to really, if you're really thinking about that, it's top of mind. For me and my job, I'm thinking about it all the time. You live differently. And so that's what we started with this whole talk with is how you make people feel, how you treat people, the perspective on is your house a mess? Who cares? As long as you're coming alongside people who need love. And it really does flip the script on what's most important and how you want to be remembered.
There would be so much less anxiety and depression and stress in the world if people lived
like that
with death in mind, which is morbid sounding. You don't want to do that, but it would make you, when I go to bed at night and I'm stressed over stupid stuff.
If you have plates or not.
Right. I don't have a TV.
Those are important, but
big deal.
That's your problem.
We wouldn't be as stressed about it if we lived with that.
Right.
Yeah. And all the time people say how do you do this job? You're dealing with people who are young. They're our age or less that are dying. And I think, eternal perspective is really the only way you can actually do this. And that is living with the end in mind and recognizing this isn't all there is. If this life is all there is, that's kind of devastating. But when you know that there's more to it.
Yeah.
And
well, and so talk to it how do you raise money for that? Talk to do you get grants? Do you donate?
Honestly have we don't do grants, which I think that would be a good thing. We're pursuing that recently because that's bigger chunks of money. We have hundreds and thousands of people who give small chunks of money. Some give monthly, some give once a year. I think that's a remarkable thing about someone's legacy too, because people who give to Inheritance of Hope or to their church or to another, nonprofit that matters to them, that is part of their legacy too, right? They're making an impact. Also, of people who serve. So I'll talk about both of those at the same time. If you want to give to Inheritance of Hope, certainly we make the dollar stretch. You can attest to this. We stretch it to serve more families, but also we need volunteers. So both of those things are pretty big needs for probably most ministries, I would say. So if you're looking around you and you're thinking this is what matters to me, I would say get involved and give. If you don't have one, I'd say look up Inheritance of Hope. Particularly in May every year, it's National Legacy Month. And so I don't know if you guys timed it up that way or not, but it is National Legacy Month. We are always trying. May is
National Legacy Month.
I told her that. That's why, we're.
I'm just so coordinated in advance.
Please, I would love to take credit for that, but that is just the way God does us. He's they're too dumb to talk to. I'm just going to throw this at them and they'll figure it out.
I think it's just a sweet time to assess, how am I doing with my legacy? Have I made a video yet? If I have, how about I make another one? This is another year has passed. Let's do it again. Also, am I giving generously? Am I serving generously? Am I living a life that like when we're gone, we actually don't have influence to tell people this is what you should think of
Right.
me. Like
Right.
say this. When
Right.
people ask me
Right.
about me, you
Right.
should say this, this, and
Right.
this. But right now we have this opportunity, right, to build those deep and wide roots. And so in May, you should do a little assessment. So on our website, there's a link. And also there's a website called nationallegacymonth.org where there's an assessment you can take. There's also a link to the legacy video. So you can sign up for a video. We're doing a campaign this May of build a legacy, give a legacy. So we're encouraging people to do $5 a month and pour into other people who are terminally ill at Inheritance Hope as they build their legacy. So it allows us to continue to offer all the services that we've talked about. And
I think if you're listening to this, you need to volunteer and do a retreat.
Uh-huh.
It is.
Yeah, it sounds incredible.
It was so good to do with Bailey.
Right.
And as well. Like we did it together and it was just.
Yeah.
It was, words can't really describe. I mean, it's like you hear when you go on a mission trip.
Yeah.
You go on a mission trip thinking you're going to serve them. And we all know you come home way more impacted.
Right.
These retreats are like that. Like you go thinking, I'm going to help this person and their family.
We do at Gabriel House at Christmas is like that.
It's
We
the
go
same
serve, because we're going to do something nice and serve brunch on Christmas morning. And it's like, we all walk away with like, well, I mean, it changes you. It just changes you.
These retreats are, I mean, it should be a yearly thing, which shame on me for not coming. I did too, but I need to do more. They are really,
You're welcome
amazing.
back
I
anytime.
know. Yeah. I just now know I sit in the back at the end because my ugly cry is like loud, ugly cry. Yeah. Like the first one was, I didn't know it was coming. They didn't warn me about the closing ceremony. And I was like, oh my word. So.
Yeah. And we do it a little different now, actually.
I'm sure.
I think it's sweet because one of the metrics we use to determine our success is how many families who we've served come back and serve as volunteers.
Right.
And that number is huge.
Oh, I would imagine.
So now we do a panel of people who are volunteering at a retreat. They can sit in front of the families that are being served this time, and then they can answer questions. And a lot of times it's young adults who lost their parent.
Yeah.
And the gift of the parents being able to see like, oh, they're okay.
They're okay.
And not only are they okay, but they're like thriving and they're using this pain in their life for good. It's a gift for those parents who are dying to see that and be like, okay.
They're going to be okay.
Yeah, they can be okay.
That's awesome.
It's not for the faint of heart.
It is not.
But
although amazing though. I mean, it's not for the faint of heart, but in such a good way.
Yeah.
It's such a deep, gut-wrenching way that
Well, I think what's sweet, you said it too, like you go on a mission trip and you think I'm going to serve them and then you end up being the one blessed. In a similar fashion, I hear from families all the time. They say, I thought I was going on a legacy retreat because I was really excited about going to Disney World or to see New York City. Right. And I realized like that was small potatoes compared to the community and the resources. And so, I'm not just saying that, like this is feedback I get over and over again. Or I get this dad or this teen that walks into a retreat and they're like, am I really here for this? My wife dragged me. I only came because she's dying. And I
have to do. Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, at the end, right?
It is.
Where they're like, this is exactly what our family needed. And I'm proud to be a part of it. I mean, building my own legacy while also continuing my friend Kristin's and helping other people. Yeah.
Well, and you, obviously, Inheritance of Hope is predominantly what we talked about, but you individually as a family have left such a legacy. She's got 2 biological kids and then they adopted 2 kids. So she's got this amazing blended family that they've created that I just think you and Adam have just done such a good job of just genuinely creating a legacy within your own family. And so it's fun to watch.
Like all those words
and they are
that you
such
can use
encouragers
about that.
across the whole family. I mean, it's almost like you spend time with them and you're like, okay.
All right.
It's like they're way too nice, way too encouraging. You walk out like, I suck. Like they're just, it runs deep. I mean, so she's not just saying this. Like this genuinely runs deep in their family. So
sweet.
She is literally leaving a legacy.
That's cool.
So,
well, and it's, this is what I do for a living. Our company's Legacy Trust. Right. And we do the financial piece of it and the estate planning piece of it. And one of the things I'm always trying to tell clients is, like, we can send the money wherever you want the money to go, but it has to come with what are your values, right? How do we get your values into what we're trying to do with the money, right? Let's let the money speak for you, because when you're gone, it can't speak for you. And I think, wouldn't it be cool if our clients would do a video?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you could put a little legacy video card in your folder. I'll supply you.
I mean, that would be very, like, because, I mean, it's all part of your legacy. Like, you can't, I don't think you can remove one from the other necessarily, but if you can get those values to come through, because that is, you know, I talk about writing a family mission statement all the time, because that's a way for generations to know this is what we were talking about and what we were trying to do. So it's very cool that that it starts with your family.
Right. I mean, you think about like Joshua 4 when they went over the Jordan River, and God says, take the stone, and write and make this as a stone of remembrance, and talk about it with your children. And you think about like when you make a legacy video, you're saying the things that matter most to you and your family. It might be traditions, it might be stories, it might be a Bible verse or a lesson learned or things like that. But these are the stones that you want to talk about with your children for generations and generations. You put it in a video, it can then be shared generations to generations. So I love that.
We're going through the chronological Bible, and just today, it's funny that you said that. It's talking about we're in Samuel, Saul, and they just kind of anoint David. So we're in that period.
In the same place.
Well, we're doing we've been off. I know. We finally got up.
Finally, we're in the same.
We did 2 different Bibles. We're both doing chronological in a year, but we chose different Bibles. So we've been off a little bit. But I was listening to it today, and it struck me because Samuel says to Saul, it was one of the battles that Saul was supposed to go in and kill everybody and wipe everybody out. And, you know, he didn't. He saved the king Agag or whatever. And so.
And they kept their plunder.
And they kept the plunder or whatever. And so Samuel now has to just call Agag in, and he slices them up into little pieces. And I'm just like, it's so brutal. And so I'm listening to it, and Samuel's telling Saul, like, kind of a recap. Like, we came out of Egypt and God took us through this, and he did this, and he captured this king. And, you know, kind of given a little bit of a recap since Egypt. And being that we're going chronological, I hit pause. I was listening to it in the car, and I was like, I wonder how many years transpired from Egypt to Saul. Like, I was like, and they're still like talking about it like it was yesterday.
And
that's what made me stop.
They also say us.
Yes.
Right? It's like,
this is what God did for us.
And
so that's what struck me. I was like, I felt like this was a long period of time, and they're talking about it like it was yesterday. And so I Googled 480.
I was just going to say it's over
480 years, and they're still talking about what God did. And that's what I think when you're talking about leaving a legacy and remembering. I mean, there's no way in the world right now that my kids 400 years from now are going to remember me.
Well, we talk about, like, when we're doing estate planning and stuff, and people they want money to go down generations, right? Like for education or philanthropy or whatever it is. And, you know, it is like, if you ask 3rd generation kids what their great grandfather did, most of them don't know. You know, so it's exactly what you're saying. Like, it is intentional. That you have to make those stories live.
480 years.
Well, and
they're still talking about Egypt.
Technology.
No, it just was passed down by the firelight.
We have it easy, and we're
still not doing a stupid video. I hear ya. I do the video.
So
that's very that's awesome.
Well,
Jill, thank you for coming.
Thank you for being
so nice
here.
having you. Any closing remarks on legacy?
You should give us your website.
Oh yeah, do the website. There you go.
Inheritanceofhope.org. A lot of people mix it up with the heritage or like legacy of hope. Inheritance, like something you received.
Right?
Inheritanceofhope.org. And then National Legacy Month, it's May, so you should be.
You should tie that in for Legacy Trust, that you have Legacy Month.
Well, since we are in May,
right? You should do
now,
that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, generationally, May should become Legacy Month for you at Legacy Trust.
I need to do that. I should
get on that. I'll do the video. You make Legacy Month in May. So
you
can also reach out to us. So if you forget all that or don't look back, by all means, reach out.
Make a connection.
And we can make the connection.
Maybe one of our retreats, when we do all this, could be
an
a
Inheritance Hope retreat.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be amazing.
I love that.
Can you imagine all of us? The old ladies and the young ladies coming along together, crying in the back. Oh, gosh. Well, thank you so much. It was so great to learn about this. Oh, my God.
All right.
Cheers.
Season 3, Episode 8.
We're out.